Mikey, back with part 2 of my recent pickups that I've made in the last few months. These are some of the used pickups that I've made recently. Let's get into it. Okay, so in November I went to a record swap and picked up a few titles. Didn't pick up too many things, but just got a few things, so I want to share them with you. So got my group ABC, How to Be a Zillionaire. That's a 12-inch single. And huge fan of ABC, always have been, love Martin Fry. So this has How to Be a Zillionaire, the nickel and dime mix. It has the Bond Street mix, and it also has the track Tower of London, the extended mix. So that is ABC, How to Be a Zillionaire. And I also picked up one of my favorite albums by The Tubes. This is The Completion Backward Principle. Love that album. This would mark the beginning of their collaboration with David Foster. So this is a great album. If you know Talk to You Later, it came from this album. Don't Want to Wait Anymore, another great track from this album. So, and I believe they're touring, either they have recently toured with this album or are gonna, or I believe they started touring with this album last year, doing it in its entirety. So, but fantastic album, one of my favorites there. So this has Talk to You Later, Sushi Girl, Amnesia, Mr. Hate, Attack of the 50-Foot Woman, Think About Me, A Matter of Pride, Don't Want to Wait Anymore, Power Tools, and Let's Make Some Noise. Okay, and also features the talents of Toto's Steve Lukather and Chicago's Bill Champlin on some of the vocals here. Whom I love. So again, great album by The Tubes. This one was definitely a hit of sorts for them. So, but fine album, The Completion Backward Principle on vinyl. Okay, so another album I picked up Donnie Iris's King Cool. Always loved Donnie Iris. Got some of his stuff on CD. Have never really owned any of his stuff on vinyl, so I was glad to pick that up. Love that cover. This is from 81. This has one of my favorite rockers, Love Is Like a Rock. I could blast that sucker for days. Man, one of my favorites. Love can rock you. Never stop you. Love is like a rock. Oh man, I want to blast that sucker now. So believe it or not, one I did not have on vinyl, but I've loved it for years. Got my boy Don Johnson's Heartbeat. Man, shit, laugh all you want to. I love this is a good album. Shit. This is a good album. I loved it. Had it on cassette for many years. I have had a couple of the singles on 45, but had never come across the LP of this. So when I saw it at the swap, I said, oh yeah, I'm gonna get this. So, but there's the back. There's old Sonny Crockett back in the day. Love it. All right. There's the gatefold. There you go. And he had a lot of help from his friends on this album. And we've got, well, let me just go down the track list. And there was Heartbeat. Obviously, that was a big hit, which, if you know, that was also given to Helen Reddy a few years before. But Don Johnson had the hit with it. Voice on the Hotline, The Last Sound Love Makes, Lost in Your Eyes, Coco Don't, Heartache Away. That features backing vocals by Bonnie Raitt. Love that song. Let's see, Love Roulette, Star Tonight, Gotta Get Away, and Can't Take Your Memory. So a very good, solid album. He had some great musicians and some great vocalists backing him up on this. And you know, if you haven't checked it out, hey, why not? You know, he had a pretty good voice. So he's not a bad singer at all. You know, so again, nice 80s pickup. Don Johnson, Heartbeat. I hear y'all laughing. I don't give a shit. I love it. So let's see. Also at the swap, I picked up, as you know, I'm a big fan of Bond soundtracks. They had on vinyl The Spy Who Loved Me, which, you know, the title track is by Carly Simon. And let's see. So that track, as well as the entire score for that Bond film, was by Marvin Hamlish. He always did some fantastic work. I'm a great fan of his. So excellent Bond soundtrack. Never had it on vinyl. Never seen on CD. I'm pretty sure the CD's been out there, but this was a good pickup as well. So 1977's The Spy Who Loved Me. Okay, and this next crop of used vinyl all comes from $5 Records. So I've made a few purchases from them over the last few months, and been getting some pretty cool things. You know, some things that maybe just my local retailers just haven't been carrying, or there's a couple rare things in there. So let me just show you. So if you watched our last video, you'll know that I did feature this. This is 1969 Sergio Mendes and Brazil 66 Crystal Illusions. I was so happy to get this. This is one of those releases that eluded me. I never came across it on vinyl. Always knew of it, but just never came across it crate digging anywhere. I'm a big fan of theirs. And just love that cover artwork. Very late 60s. Very nice. Again, they're covering Sitting on the Dock of the Bay, Song of No Regrets. Beautiful song. Salt Sea, Empty Faces, Viola, Pretty World, which features some fine lyric, fine songwriting by the Bergmans, Alan and Marilyn Bergman. Dos Dias, You Stepped Out of a Dream, and of course the title track, Crystal Illusions. Fantastic album. Was so happy to get this. Such a treasure. All right. And let's see, they had Diana Ross and the Supremes live at London's Talk of the Town. Check that out. Beautiful. So this is what I loved about the Supremes, is that they could do their own hits, and they could do standards, they could do Broadway, which is why they definitely had that mainstream appeal. You know, Berry Gordy wanted to everybody to know that these ladies were, again, super talented and could do it all. So they're covering tracks like With a Song in My Heart, Stranger in Paradise, Wonderful Wonderful, Without a Song. They're doing a medley, Stop in the Name of Love, Come See About Me, My World is Empty Without You, Baby Love, Love is Here and Now You're Gone, More, You Keep Me Hanging On. They do a Beatles medley. They do Michelle and Yesterday. Side 2 has got In and Out of Love. They're doing Lady is a Tramp, Let's Get Away from It All, The Happening. And they're doing their Broadway medley. They're doing Thoroughly Modern Millie, Secondhand Rose, Mame, Reflections, and You're Nobody Till Somebody Loves You. So definitely an interesting album in their catalog, and definitely can't wait to play this. So it looks to be in pretty good condition. So there we go. All right, so that is Diana Ross and the Supremes live at London's Talk of the Town. All right, so we got my girl. Speaking of the Supremes, we have my girl, the late great Mary Wilson, and her solo album from 1979. This was just released on a deluxe CD not too long before her death. So I want to say within the last, maybe a little more than the last year or so, this has come out on CD. But $5 Records had the vinyl, and I love that cover. I just love late 70s, early 80s fashion. So I love her whole look here. She's looking gorgeous. And there's the back cover. Very nice. Just looking just fabulous, exquisite. And let's see, what does this have? This has Red Hot, I've Got What You Need, You Make Me Feel So Good, I Love a Warm Summer Night, Pick Up the Pieces, You're the Light That Guides My Way, and Midnight Dancer. So that is Mary Wilson, self-titled. Love it. 1979. All right, and featuring another great lady of song, we have my girl Patti Austin, Live at the Bottom Line. Love that cover. I always love a cover that tells a story. You know, there she is putting on her makeup, getting ready to go on stage. Go ahead, girl. So, there's the gatefold. I believe this came out in 78, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure it did. Not seeing the year of release. This is on CTI. But this has You Fooled Me, Jump for Joy, Rider in the Rain, Let's All Live and Give Together, Love Me by Name, Wait a Little While, One More Night, and Let It Ride. Now this has come out on CD in recent years with bonus tracks. One bonus track in particular on the CD, and you know this has got to be 78 because she's doing a cover of You're the One That I Want from Grease, which had just come out that year. So if you can find the CD and check it out, listen to her version of it. It's pretty cool. So, but it's not on, again, it's not on this original vinyl version, but it is on the CD. So, but there we are, my girl Patti Austin, a voice for the ages. And I feel quite under appreciated. So, but there she is, looking beautiful. And that's Live at the Bottom Line. So these next few titles are from some of my favorite ladies of song and stage and film. Let's go. Here's my main girl. This is Bette Midler. Been a huge fan of Bette's, huge collector of Bette's for many, many years. This is her album from 1985. This is she was doing some stand-up at this time. This is Mud Will Be Flung Tonight, a very unique album in her catalog. She recorded this in LA in 1985 at Bud Friedman's Improvisation. So this is her take on doing stand-up, and she's doing some songs in between. So she's taking little fun pot shots at Madonna, Mick, who she had worked with in her video for Beast of Burden the year before. She's doing her the first time we would hear the song Otto Titzling before it was featured in Beaches several years later. So that's on here. Her fantastic character that she does on stage, Vicky Eady. Her character Soph, who is based on the late great singer comedian Sophie Tucker, is also on this album. So this is a fantastic album to have if you like stand-up comedy, if you love Bette, you love her songs, you love her humor. It's all on here on 1985s. And I have this poster somewhere too. I gotta find it. So that is Bette's Mud Will Be Flung Tonight. Great album. Had it on cassette for many years and was glad to get this on an LP finally. And we got another one by Bette. This is 1979's Thighs and Whispers. Love this song. She's doing, as Bette, she can do so many things and do them so well. So this is her tackling all sorts of things. She's doing her ballads, Mill Worker, brilliant ballad written by James Taylor. She's doing some fantastic songs on here. She does the 40s song Big Noise from Winnetka, which she did as her opening song on the Divine Madness tour. If you ever see that DVD, you'll know that's what she opens with. She does Cradle Days. She's doing disco on here, My Night in Black Leather. Great fun song. Her cover of Johnny Bristol's Hang in There Baby. Fantastic song, one of my favorite cuts. She's doing as a disco song. Love it. Love that song. Absolutely probably my favorite track on this whole album. She's doing Hurricane, Rain, and then Married Men was the other single on this album. So fantastic album. And here we go. Always love her expressions. She's just, she's only one Bette, So, but, and again, on this album, she's joined by the Harlettes. She's joined by the backing vocals of Luther Vandross on this album. So, but great album, great fun as always, great ballads. That's what she's about. She always gives us a great mixed bag of all her talents. So that is Bette's Thighs and Whispers, 1979. So a couple albums from another one of my favorite divas, that would be Miss Liza Minnelli. What a treasure she is. I'm so happy that she's still with us and she's still giving 100% of herself. I just saw a video just a couple days ago where she was at a supper club and Ben Vereen was on stage and she's singing from the audience at a table along with him, and she's still in fine voice, still entertaining and mesmerizing. This is 1977's Tropical Nights. I actually had this on a CD, had never come across the vinyl, but $5 Records had it. Again, always love a cover that tells a story. This one is brilliant. Love it. There's the back. Okay, what's she doing on here? She's doing Jimmy Jimmy, When It Comes Down to It, I Love Every Little Thing About You, Easy, I'm Your New Best Friend, Tropical Nights, Valley High, Take Me Through, I Could Come to Love You, Come Home Babe, and A Beautiful Thing. So great album by Liza Minnelli, 1977, Tropical Nights. And there's the insert there. All right. And it doesn't get any more iconic than her show, Liza with a Z. Liza Minnelli, fantastic show. If you've never seen it, it is out on DVD. You can catch it. There we go. And her TV special from 1972, where she was on top of the world. That was the year of her cabaret, which she won an Oscar for. She's doing some great songs in this show. So she's doing Yes, God Bless the Child. What else is she doing in there that I loved? She does a cover of Dusty Springfield's Son of a Preacher Man. That was another one that I loved. She does a cabaret medley. So just some fantastic songs. I mean, one of our American treasures, and Liza Minnelli. Great album. I've had the DVD for Liza with a Z for a long time. I've had the CD, but nice to have a vinyl copy. Here we go. Got a few albums from my main girl, Babs, as in Streisand. So, have a very underrated album in her catalog. This is 1974's Butterfly. Get it? And this probably isn't one of my favorite Barbara covers, but at least, it was, I got the joke. And so, but you get the joke. So it's one with some humor. So love that. And there's the gatefold. And there's the back. And so, the mid 70s, that's Barbara was in that period of where she was trying different things. She was trying, she was doing what most vocalists had to do, but trying songs by other artists, staying contemporary, staying in the game, in the 70s. And I'm glad she did, because that's why she's still relevant and still so very relevant today, because she knows how to switch it up. So from what I can understand, this isn't one of her favorite albums in her catalog, but I like it. But so this one had Love in the Afternoon, Guava Jelly. She does a cover of Bill Withers' Grandma's Hands. My favorite track on here is her cover of the Carpenters' I Won't Last a Day Without You. It's so beautiful. Her interpretation is beautiful. The arrangement is beautiful. It's just gorgeous. So, but if you haven't checked out Butterfly by Streisand before, check it out. It's definitely an album worth listening to. Again, not one of the big ones in her catalog, but don't sleep on it. It's a great album. We've got 1970s What About Today? Again, not a huge album in her catalog, but an important one, because this had that shift where Barbara was going from the 60s to the 70s and getting into more contemporary material. So this kind of predates the stuff we would hear from Barbara, with her covering like Laura Nyro, John Lennon, eventually David Bowie, which was, those songs were a few years away. This kind of ushered in that era for her in the 70s. So What About Today is exactly what it implies. You know, she's covering, she's, taking a stab at doing contemporary arrangements, contemporary songs of the day. So she's got the title track, Ask Yourself Why, Honey Pie, Punky's Dilemma, Until It's Time for You to Go, That's a Fine Kind of Freedom, Little Tin Soldier, With a Little Help from My Friends. She does a cover of Alfie, The Morning After, and Good Night. So great album, and got those wonderful arrangements by her longtime conductor, Peter Matz, who did some great work with Barbara at that time. You might know Peter Matz from his work primarily with the Carol Burnett Show. He did all those great songs and openings and closings and compositions for that show. So it's his work with Barbara and Carol that actually introduced me to him. So arranged and conducted by Peter Matz. That is 1970. Barbra Streisand, What About Today? So I was so glad to get this on LP because I'd never seen it on vinyl. Have had the CD reissue for years, played it to death. Had the cassette, played it to death. But had never, for some odd reason, come across the vinyl. And that is 1969's film version of Hello, Dolly, with Barbra Streisand and Walter Matthau, one of my favorite musical soundtracks of all time, and Louis Armstrong himself making an appearance in the film. Fantastic, love it. Michael Crawford also in the film, but just some wonderful songs. This is one of me and my mom's favorites. Anytime this used to come on TV, this is one of our movies. We would sit back and watch it. We love the songs in it. Okay, music conducted by Lenny Hayton. That was Lena Horne's husband, and Lionel Newman, and music and lyrics by Jerry Herman. So just a great soundtrack. Okay, and there's the gatefold there. All right. Probably one of the last of the big budget musicals before the turn of the decade came around. You know, the musical was produced, as you probably know, by Gene Kelly, and it was 20th Century Fox had spent so much money on this musical, and big budget musicals were actually going, the other way. This was probably the last of the last. As they say, this one put the nail in the coffin for the big budget Hollywood musicals there. And there's the album there. So, but it has stood the test of time. Great songs, great arrangements. We know Carol Channing did so wonderful with title role Dolly Levi. Pearl Bailey, she was in a version of it. She did wonderful. Bette Midler more recently, fantastic with Dolly Levi. But Streisand was my introduction to Hello, Dolly, so that's why it'll probably always be my favorite. But basically has the same songs as the Broadway musical, with the exception of one song that was written specifically for Streisand. That's the opening song, Just Leave Everything to Me, one of my favorite songs. If you want your sister courted, brother widowed, cheese imported, just leave everything to me. And there has a throwaway song from, I believe, written by Jerry Herman, which I believe was a throwaway for the musical Mame, which makes its appearance here. That is Love Is Only Love. So a couple of different exceptions from the Broadway musical that were used in the film version, which I love so much. But that is 1969's Hello, Dolly, the soundtrack. Love it. Longtime favorite of mine. Got a soundtrack from this. I'm tearing up because this is one of my mom's favorite movies. This is another 60s soundtrack. This is Stanley Donen's Two for the Road. Music by Henry Mancini. In the film, we had Audrey Hepburn and Albert Finney. Great movie. And what was the year this one came out? I want to say, was it 1967. So some fantastic songs. You're a fan of Henry Mancini. He did some fantastic, timeless arrangements. And this is one of those soundtracks. Definitely. So I was glad to pick that up. It's in fine condition. Probably needs a little bit of cleaning up, but there we go. Two for the road. All right. And let's see, last but not least, I picked up a ton of 12-inch singles from $5records.com. Let me just go through those real quick. Have my girl Chaka Khan's Love of a Lifetime, and that's from her album Destiny. Love that cover. Okay, what's the B-side? Coltrane Dreams. That's the long version. So got Chaka. Got a couple by my girls, Expose. Got Tell Me Why. Glad to get that. Always glad to get anything by Expose, one of my favorite groups of the 80s. All right, and that's got about 4 different mixes of Tell Me Why, and it's got Let Me Down Easy. All right, and let's see, what's the other one? Yes, they had the 12-inch single for Seasons Change, so I was glad to pick that up. Yes. It's got 3 versions of Seasons Change plus the Expose Mega Mix. That's got Point of No Return, Come Go With Me, and Exposed to Love. Fantastic. So there we go. Glad to get it. So another one. This is a rare one. Another one of my favorite dance tracks. I want to say this came out in 1989, 1990. I had the 45 for this. This is Amy Lorraine's Whole Wide World. Love this song. And I remember when she was on Club MTV and she performed this song. She was kind of like a cross between like Britney Spears and Paula Abdul. At least that's what her voice and her kind of like dance movements reminded me of. So, but great song. Had never seen the 12-inch single for it anywhere. But $5 Records had it. Wanna tell the whole wide world about you. Yeah, that was the song. So love it. Was glad to see this on a 12-inch single there. We got my boys, Wang Chung. This is Don't Be My Enemy and Wait. So always nice to get anything by Wang Chung. They're one of my favorite groups. And there's the back. And what's the B-side? The B-side is Wait, the extended dance remix. So there we go. Was glad to pick that up. All right. And one of my favorite songs of all time, definitely of 1988. This song just reeks of summer of 1988. And I always love it. Love to hear it. This is a 12-inch single for Jane Wiedlin's Rush Hour. Love this song. I never get tired of it. And the video, love it. Every time the video would come on, I would always crank it up. But God, this has like 1, 2, 3, 4, about 4 different mixes of Rush Hour with the bonus track End of Love on side 2. So great song, great memories. It sounds so fresh whenever I listen to it. Just fresh and bubbly and just such a great, airy, well-written pop song from Jane Wiedlin. Rush Hour 12-inch mixes there. Get Up by Technotronic. Love them, man. Anything you can find by Technotronic, man, pick it up because that first album of theirs, that's already hard to find. And I'm finding that the remixes are even more difficult to find. So anytime I can find it, I grab it. Yeah, how many yeah, so this has like 1, 2, 3, 4 versions of Get Up Before the Night Is Over, and it's got the techno mix of Pump Up the Jam. All right, so was glad to get that. One of my favorite one-hit wonders from the decade. This is the 12-inch single for Misfit from Curiosity Killed the Cat. Used to show it quite a bit on VH1, MTV in the mid-80s. I had the 45, I wore it out. Misfit, the freak that's on the street. Now I can see sorrow in your eyes. Hello. Never saw the 12-inch single anywhere, so I was glad that they had it. Definitely a good score there. I had a sealed copy of my girl Vanessa Williams, The Right Stuff. The Right Stuff, baby. There you go, from the album of the same name. And what has this got? Yeah, it's got like 4 versions of the Right Stuff: radio version, extended version, edited version, and the dubadelic version of Right Stuff. And that's from her debut album. Look at her looking gorgeous as always. Vanessa. Love it. This is like such a novelty, this song. But I remember it fondly because for half a minute they showed this so much on VH1. This is Paul Shaffer, the 12-inch single for When the Radio Is On. I love it. They showed this quite a bit. It was like one of those things where you had to be there at that moment back in the day when they were showing this to death. So, my God, this has got like 5 different versions of it. Trying to see if there's anything else I can say about it. Let's see. So on the vocals with him, we've got Dion DiMucci, we've got the Fresh Prince, got songwriter Ellie Greenwich, or Greenwich. I hope I'm saying it right. I've known her name for years. Ellie Greenwich, Carole King, Johnny Maestro, Jay Siegel, and of course Paul Shaffer. And we have it also includes keyboards by not only Paul Shaffer, by Jeff Lorber as well. It was just a fun song. I'm trying to remember how it even goes. I can't remember even how it goes, but it was just a fun up-tempo song. Paul Shaffer always being silly in the video. So, but this was like this is such a time capsule. This is what, 89 when they used to show this. So for like a hot second, you could turn to VH1 any minute of the day and see this video. So, but that is it. That's it for all my used pickups. I did get a book, and I haven't had a chance to crack it open yet. I actually am familiar with this. So in the last year, there has been a reprint of the Ronnie Spector biography, Be My Baby. I first read this book in college when it was called Be My Baby. I think it was called Tales of Mini Skirts, the Mascara, and Mini Skirts, the Mascara, and it had a unique subtitle at that time, Mini Skirts and Mascara and My Time with the Ronettes, something like that. And when I read her story back then, it was just so unbelievable. It's one of those autobiographies like Tina Turner's I, Tina, where you read about all the stuff that they went through with their husbands and you just can't believe they made it through. It's just like, oh my God, it like Tina Turner's autobiography, this really needs to be a movie. This really needs to be a movie. And I'm hoping that with her unfortunate passing and untimely passing, they will actually make a movie out of this book, because it's like you have to see it to believe it. So, but great autobiography, has some added chapters and a lot of updates to the book. Fresh new cover, everything else. But so while I haven't had a chance to crack open this version yet, I know the previous version was it was wonderful. So the previous version was fantastic. So I know this can only be an improvement. I want to hear what else she had to say. One of our great rock pop era divas, Ronnie Spector. This is again the reprint of her autobiography, Be My Baby. So I was able to get this at Barnes & Noble. They had it for 50% off. I said, of course I'm there. So can't wait to read it. Woo, baby. So that's all I got for you. So again, I had to break it up into 2 videos because as you can see, it was a lot. So, and I ain't even had a chance to play all this stuff yet, honey, but it's here. So I hope in my downtime I can make it through and enjoy some of this great music that I picked up over the last few months. So hope everybody's been doing well. Guys, stay tuned. Pretty soon gonna have another video, another special episode of Let's Talk Records. That's coming up soon. In the meantime, guys, it was nice getting back together with you again. And hey, I have some more stuff for y'all. Record store days coming up sooner than later. They're gonna have some killers out this year. Oh Lord. I'm scared to even think about it. But y'all, be good, and I'll see you again soon, all right? If you like what you've seen today, subscribe, and all right, y'all, see you again soon. Bye.